All right. So Grand Rising. Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, drop your city and state, like, share, and tag. Let us know where you're tuning in from. This is Eric with Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blank supplier, authorized reseller of Stahl's vinyl, and we also provide EcoSoft ink supplies. We do business and financial education. We have classes, trainings, all kinds of stuff like that. So we come on every Monday and Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking business, and today is no different. I am solo today. I'm solo today, and I'm trying to do something right now to connect both my accounts. So give me 1 second. You might get a little bit of feedback. And I'm going to, let me see if I can invite myself. I'm always trying something new, man. All right. So it's going to get a little bit of reverb. All right. I think, yeah. So I'm trying to get both our trying to get both of our pages on at the same time without having that reverb. Give me a second. And then cut my camera off. I did it the other day, no issue. Hey, can y'all tell me if y'all hearing the reverb? Any feedback? Grand Rising? Echo? Okay. It ain't that serious. I'll try something later on. So, hey, Grand Rising, y'all. I'm here by myself today. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it, man. I'm not gonna worry about it because this one anyway. This is a conversation about me anyway. So, um, see the topic: regroup, readjust, refocus. Regroup, readjust, refocus. It's getting harder and harder. It's getting harder and harder. It's not gonna get any easier. So, if you guys are here for the first time, drop a number one. Also, drop your city and state, like, share, and tag. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Um, Man, it's not gonna get any easier, y'all. It's not, and it's not supposed to be easy. So, how many people are ready to quit? How many people are ready to quit their business right now? How many people are ready to give up and throw in the towel? Have you ever heard somebody say that? Maybe you said it. I know I said it. I'm ready to quit. This thing is too hard. This is too frustrating. It's too hard, and I'm just ready to give it up. This is not going to be the normal pat on the back type call. This is going to be a really, really serious call. This is specifically for me. Specifically for me. I'm just going to invite you into the conversation. You got to remember. You got to remember why you got started. And if you got started for the wrong reasons, then it's going to be much easier to quit. It's going to be much easier to just give up. Now, I want to address a time frame. There's a lot of people that got started in business right in the middle of the pandemic. As a matter of fact, the pandemic prompted them to start business. They either got laid off from their job, the hours got slow, or they got fired. Totally got fired. And it prompted them to start a business. I'm not talking about the people who were doing something on the side and they decided to turn it into a business. I'm talking about the people who were doing nothing but working a job. There's a group of people who were doing nothing but focusing on their career. They were working a job. They were getting up every morning, fighting traffic, going to their 9 to 5, going through all the junk and the bull, and they were going to a job. And then all of a sudden, in 2020, reality check. Realized that job that we had didn't really care about us. Anyway, fast forward. That was the birth of a lot of people's businesses. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole how you operate in your business, if you operate in the property or whatever. I'm not going to go into that. What I am going to say, though, is that if you got started right in the middle of the pandemic, if you got started in 2020, specifically around from March of 2020, I want to say around to December or so of 2020, you got to ask yourself, why did you get started? Many people got started because their backs were up against the wall. They got started because they needed money. They got started because they needed to feed their family. They got started because that was the only option that they thought they had. They were fed up. They were frustrated. They were mad. They got tired of going back and forth with the job, if they were going to take them back or not. And they just went ahead and they went full speed with starting something. This platform that we've attracted a lot of people who do crafts, specifically sublimation, HTV, DTF, vinyl, things like that. And what I've noticed is that there's a lot of people who started during the pandemic. People who never had businesses before, they started during the pandemic. They had every opportunity to start a business well before the pandemic, but they waited right until the pandemic and they started a business. And some of them are realizing now just how hard running a business is. Since then, some people have went back to work. Some people have went back to their job, whether it was the original job or whether they got another one. And now they're trying to operate that business and work a job. And I bring this up because a lot of people are tired. A lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are ready to quit. Raise your hand if you think about quitting. We started our business. This business started in the middle of the pandemic, but we've been in business since 2015, latter part of 2015, 2016. But I think about quitting every day. I think about going back home, selling all my stuff, downsizing our house, and getting into a smaller space and living off my retirement, military retirement. That's what I think about. I think about that every day. I think about it more so when, not when things get rough, so to say, but I think about it more so when I have certain interactions with certain personalities. I think about that. And more often than not, I'm like, ready to turn the desk over. It's like, forget this. I don't need this. But then I think about why I got started in the first place. And I'm not talking about in the pandemic. I'm talking about, like I said, we've been business owners for almost 8 years, right around 8 years now. And I think about why I got started. And I think about where I was financially before I got started. And before I got started in business, I was broke, literally living paycheck to paycheck, making great money, nevertheless, still broke. Bad habits, bad spending habits. I love shoes. I love suits. I love to go shopping. And when I actually got started, and I realized how I had thrown my opportunities away by not understanding how finances work, I decided to start a business. And when we started the business, D was actually still working. And I had to think about, as we got started, I had to think about some of the things that we were doing before we started, some of the habits that we had, some of the bad choices that we made. And I look at our life how it has changed over the past 8 years. And I every time I think about quitting, I ain't say stopping and starting over. I didn't say take a pause. Every time I think about quitting, I think about the life that I used to live. And do I want to go back to living that type of life? And the answer is simple. I don't. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to barely making it. I don't want to go back to living paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to go get another job. I don't want to do that. See, the reason why we got started in business is because we were drowning in debt. We got started in business because we were drowning in debt. And the specific business that we started showed us how to get out of debt. It showed us about our personal affairs. And then from there, we began to study business. That word business is so broad. It's so broad and it's so unrelatable to a lot of people. It's so loosely used. It's thrown around like a piece of paper. But we actually began to study business and how business worked, and we began to start other businesses. And I thought about that. I thought about that last night, and I thought about that this morning. As a matter of fact, all week I was thinking about it since we got back from our vacation. Do I really want to do this? Or do I want to do it in this capacity? And the answer is no, I don't. But is it necessary? Yes, it is. It's necessary if I'm going to have the type of lifestyle that I want. So I want to ask you a question right now as I bring you into our conversation. As I bring you into the conversation, I want to ask you a question. And just be honest with yourself. Whether you answer or respond, whether you participate or not, that's your choice. How many times, first off, if we start anything for the wrong reason, we're not going to get out of it what we want to get out of it. That's number one. So a lot of people got started in business for the wrong reason. They had great intentions, but they got started for the wrong reason. So if you got started in business for the wrong reason, and you're not getting the results that you want, then that's something to think about. But the thing I want to ask you is, if you're thinking about quitting and giving up on your business because of whatever reason, Maybe you're not making the sales. Maybe customers are ticking you off. Brand Rising, thanks for jumping on. Maybe customers are ticking you off. Maybe you're getting tired of hearing people talk about you. Maybe you're getting, just frustrated with the economy, or you're frustrated with trying to keep up with the latest technology or the latest processes. Whether you are struggling with marketing, prices, advertising, like I said, making sales, remember why you got started. All that stuff means nothing if you don't remember why you got started. Now here's the kicker, and this is gonna relate to a lot of people out there. Drop a number two. Drop a number 2 in the comments if you have a regular 9 to 5 that's paying for all of your expenses. Drop a number 2 if you have a regular 9 to 5 job that's paying for all your expenses. Whether it's 9 to 5, 7 to 4, whatever, 7 to 3 or whatever, 11 to something, If you got a regular 9 to 5 that's paying for all your expenses, drop a number 2. Now, I'm going to assume that those number 2s that I see, I'm going to assume that you guys have a business as well, right? I'm going to assume you guys have a business as well. Business, side hustle, hobby, whatever you want to call it. So for those of you who have a regular job that's paying all of your regular bills and expenses, and you may be thinking that your business is not growing fast enough, you're not making enough sales, maybe you should take some time and learn how to build your business instead of getting upset that you're not getting the sales or you're not understanding how to market. We ain't talking about saving, because see, before here's the kicker, man. Here's the kicker. I don't want to go off the rail. I want to stay on topic. That's one of the problems with us as Americans. We think one way because that's what we were taught, but that most likely everything that we were taught, pretty much everything that we were taught about money, business, jobs, all that stuff is false. They're not even false positives. They just false. But if you got a job and you've had a job, whether you're barely making it or not, and you got a job and you decide to start a business, but your business is not flourishing like you want it to flourish, then maybe you're not taking the time out to learn how to build your business properly. Sometimes you got to regroup, readjust, and refocus. Sometimes you have to regroup, take a step back, see what it is that you're not doing. Is it something that you are doing that you don't know? I heard people say all the time, man, I'm doing everything I can. I'm doing everything I know how, but I still can't get to the next level. Well, maybe that's the common denominator. You doing everything that you know how, and you doing everything that you can. What type of professional development have you sought out? What type of extra have you gone out and researched or added to your life to make sure that you can go to the next level? See, a lot of us are stuck in one space because of the way that we think, what we were taught, what we believe. And we really think, many of us really think, that we are doing everything humanly possible. But the truth of the matter is, most of us are only doing what we know how to do. That's the part of regrouping. Regrouping is going to allow you to step outside of what you're doing. Literally stepping outside of what you're actually doing and saying, hey, let me take an objective look at what's going on. Let me take an objective look at what's going on and see if I need some help. And most times we do.
So that regrouping is going to allow you to kind of identify, but you got to be honest with yourself. See, those people were struggling before they started a business. And struggling before you start a business and thinking that starting a business is going to help you not struggle, that is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. But that's what we believe because that's what we were taught. Readjust. We have to readjust our thinking. Readjusting our thinking is going to allow us to put things in perspective. If we're not making sales the way we want to make sales because we read somewhere or we heard somewhere or we watched a webinar or we were invited to a seminar that said that we can make all these zeros behind a number if we just sold a product, then we were lied to in that sense because everybody's not going to make that money. This is not a hit on anybody, but let's just be honest. Some of the people who are struggling financially on their jobs right now are not struggling financially because they're not making enough money. Some people are struggling financially because they're not making the right decisions. They're not making better spending decisions. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty, Mike. And I think we all go through that. I'm tired. I think it's more or less, for me, I think it's more or less I'm tired. I'm never going to quit. But I get tired. And when you get tired, oftentimes you're getting tired because what you're doing is not working the way that you want it to work. But you also got to think about it like this. And I know I said this wasn't going to be an inspirational type call. But I want you to think about it like this. Everybody's either getting ready to go through something, going through something, or about to come out of something. So when we start getting those feelings of despair, wanting to quit, getting tired, that is usually when our breakthrough is about to happen. Just want to say that. Anyway, readjusting. Readjusting. When we get tired of doing something, or we don't feel like, as Mike said, creating as much anymore, then maybe it's time for us to step our game up. Maybe it's time to level up. What else can I do other than that part of the creation? Maybe it's time for me to take my business to a different level. As business owners, we have a love-hate relationship with our business. It's definitely when we're tired. I agree. But it goes back to why did we get started in the first place? Some people got started for the wrong reasons. Not everybody's going to agree with me, and it's okay. But a lot of people got started for the wrong reasons. A lot of people got started in business because they heard somebody say that they can make a lot of money. But I mean, let's be honest, man. If you're not making a lot of money on your job because you don't have a specific skill set, and then you think that you're going to create a skill set in 2 to 3 years and make a lot of money, you're lying to yourself. Hey, Aisha, thanks for jumping on. Just being honest. That goes back to what I was saying before about building a business. Building a business doesn't necessarily mean making money. I think the professor talked about this. We both talked about this before. It's the things that you don't see. I don't hear my Shopify going off while I'm on this call right now. I don't hear anybody buying anything from our store right now. So literally, I'm not making money by being on this call right now. But figuratively, I'm growing an audience. Possible customers. We got to get out of the mindset of it's all about making tangible money and start understanding what it means to build a business. And I just, for the life of me, the frustration really sets in when all I hear people talk about is they want to make more sales. They want to make more money. but nobody's concerned about building a business. Because inside building that business, it's going to show them how to keep that money. It's going to show them how to make better business decisions. It's going to show them how to network. It's going to talk about the record keeping and the tax minimizations and the tax deductions. It's going to talk about, making sure I make better financial decisions for my business. It's going to talk about investing in my business instead of eating out of my cash register. I ain't making no money right now. You'll hear the bell go off. Shopify. Every time you get a sale, ding. That's the cha-ching sound. But when we're on these calls, we're not literally making money. Good morning, Jordan. But the calls are designed to grow a network. Not just a network of customers, but a network of people who have similar concerns that we can share with one another, that maybe we can lean on one another to maybe push one another to maybe consider going a little further. Everybody didn't get started for the same reason, which is why a lot of people are really ready to quit. I ain't talking about the ones that's frustrated. I'm talking about the ones that was lied to and they continue to lie to themselves about 6 and 7-figure businesses. I'm gonna lose a lot of people by saying that, but I can't help but express that honesty, because you don't have to make 6 or 7 figures in business to be successful. See, we started our business because we wanted to make more money. But ain't nobody told you how to keep the money that you're making. And when we start talking about that, this is the frustrating part about me, because we have several businesses. The other business, we talk about business building and finances. And when I talk about that, that's what I was trying to hook the other joint up. And when I talk about that, it's like crickets. Because all people want to do in the crafting community is make stuff. Readjusting will allow us to step outside of our zone. And it will allow us to look at our business as a whole. As a whole. See, a lot of people was broke before they started their business. They had broke habits. They had broke habits before they started their business. So what makes you think that your business is going to serve as a Captain Saver? Okay. It ain't. It's the education, man. Regrouping, readjusting, and then you got to refocus. Once you regroup and you readjust, you have to refocus. By my recollections, it is the last day of the month. Tomorrow is April the 1st. For some people, they're going to be playing April Fool's jokes. For other people, they're going to be running their business. For us, I'm going to be talking about financial education. April has been coined as Financial Literacy Month. And I'm going to be talking about financial education every day in the month of April. Not just because April is important. I think it's important every day of the year. But because this is the way they train our minds, and we focus on certain observations, we observe certain things, certain times. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I dare everybody who sees this, I dare you to lock in and regroup, readjust, and refocus on your business. For those of you who are not making the sales that you want to make, ask yourself, are you really operating your business like a business? Bro, I talked about this yesterday, man. I'm being honest with you. I talked about this yesterday. Our sales are not where I want them to be. We are struggling with sales right now. You would think that being in a community that says that they want to be able to touch items, you would think that they would come in and touch the items on a more regular basis. However, that's how I know that we deal with more hobbyists than we deal with business owners. So you ain't by yourself, and everything has levels. I dare y'all. I dare y'all to learn how to build your business. I dare you that when it gets slow, that you start focusing on your record keeping. I dare you that when it gets slow, that you learn different tax strategies on how to keep more of your money. I dare you that when it's slow, that you learn another skill set that you can learn how to create more cash flowing into your household. I dare you. See, we spend the majority of our time in business trying to make sales. Hey, if I'm wrong, man, tell me I'm wrong. We spend the majority of our time in business trying to sell our products and our services. I mean, that is the true definition of business. But is that really the core of business ownership? You think all these stores out here are not feeling it economically? They're feeling it too. That don't make you feel no better, but they're feeling it too. But there's a group of people in business that are not feeling anything. You know who that is? Y'all know who's still selling with no issue? Entertainment. No issue. You know why? Because people feel sorry for themselves. People are feeling sorry for themselves, and they're doing a lot of emotional spending. They're doing a lot of emotional spending. And this is the time to buckle down, regroup, readjust, and refocus on your business. This is the time. We all think about quitting. But I'm gonna encourage you not to quit, but to regroup. That means you may have to bag back for a minute. Readjust. Take a look at your situation from the outside looking in. Create some type of focus group, a mastermind group. I don't know. Something. Get some opinions from the outside, not just from customers, from other business owners. Because if you just only listen to the opinions of customers, you're gonna quit. I promise you're gonna quit. If you only listen to what customers say they want, you won't be in business. Maybe you should get off the call, bro. Take a step back. Take a step back. I'm telling y'all, man, it ain't gonna be easy. And I ain't gonna tell you that it gets easier. But you gotta connect. You gotta connect to a power source. You gotta remember why you started. And even if you remember why you started, find out if you started for the right reasons or not. And you're probably asking, somebody ain't gonna ask. You're probably thinking, what's the right reason? Or what's the wrong reason? Is anybody out there Is anybody out there thinking maybe I started for the wrong reason? Drop a number 3. I want to see how honest you guys are. If you think you started for the wrong reason, or you may have started for the wrong reason, drop a number 3. That's the first step into getting some stuff right. It really is. If you think you may have started for the wrong reason. So now, Charmaine, thank you for your honesty, your transparency. Now, this is what I want you to think about, Charmaine. Just because you think you may have started for the wrong reason, whatever that reason is, readjust. Find better reasons to keep going. See, when people are desperate, they do desperate things. When people are in a backed up to a wall situation, the back's against the wall situation, they do desperate things. We know that we need money. We have to pay our bills. Even if we jack our credit up, right, and we don't pay any of our debt except for the debt that we have to pay, mortgage, car note, whatever, you know what I'm saying? We let all of our other things go. We still need money to pay our bills. Grand Rising Mama Still, thanks for jumping on. So we know we need money. But if we start something for the wrong reason, then we're not going to get out of it what we want to get out of it. Regroup, readjust, refocus. This ain't a popular conversation because this is a conversation that a lot of people don't want to have. I've learned in my life that nobody likes to be told that they're wrong. Nobody likes to feel like a failure. And nobody wants to mess up. I started out wanting to make stuff for my daughter, and once I realized I was actually getting traction in traffic, I had to readjust. Once again, why do people start businesses? And is the reason that you started the right reason or the wrong reason? That's an awesome story. That's an awesome story. But why did you start? And is it a good or right reason or a valid reason? To make money. So, transparency. Thank you. That ain't the reason to start business. This ain't my opinion. This is facts. That ain't the reason to start business. Desperation. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's not the reason to start business. It's not. Miss Bless, thank you. I appreciate that. It's not. Y'all probably think I'm crazy. Y'all might think this, I don't know what I'm talking about. Starting a business to make money, starting a business, I've said this before. We start businesses to solve problems. And because we solve problems, we're going to make money. Thank you. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. You can make money on a regular job. We start businesses to solve problems. Aisha, you were on top of it. You said that you started wanting to make stuff for your daughter. You were solving a problem internally. Oh, man, y'all going to hear me one day, man. You started to create something for your family. Yeah, even though 2 jobs for 2 people. See, starting a business to make money is not the right answer. Making money from a business is the result of solving a problem. Drop a number 4 if that makes sense, or if it sounds stupid what I just said, drop a 5. But if it makes sense, drop a number 4. Starting a business means solving a problem, and a problem being solved is going to make you some money. We don't have to agree with me. We do not have to agree with me. If I'm wrong or you think I'm wrong, we can agree to disagree. We get wrapped up into trying to make money. Starting a business for more time with the family is not the reason to start. It can keep you from your family more than keeping you with your family. Absolutely. See, all these reasons. Listen, and I want y'all to understand something, man. I need y'all to hear this. When y'all go back out, because see, right now, whoever's on this call right now, you're inside of our bubble. You're inside of this platform. Once you go back out into the streets, into the world, on those other platforms, I want you to really pay attention to what people are saying. Oh, you can spend more time with your family. Oh, you can make more money. Oh, you can get out of debt. Oh, you can do this. Even when I talk about building wealth, that's a result of being in business. That's a result of solving problems. We're solving problems out here, y'all. Facts. And I've been working for customers since we've been out here. I know that's not a good picture. But I want y'all to see that. The whole purpose for that was to solve some problems. The whole purpose for this was to solve some problems. That's the whole purpose for that. That was to solve some problems. A problem of people not being able to come in and touch a product. People got tired of shopping on certain platforms, getting things and not being able to know what it was that they were getting. We wanted to solve a problem. That's what we wanted to do. And we still do. We want to solve a problem. I want y'all to understand something. Instead of feeding into what people want you to feed into, ask questions. Some of it ain't making sense, y'all. They're telling us these things is not making sense. They're shoving down our throat that we can fire our boss. They're shoving down our throat that we can make more money. They're shoving down our throat. And it's not hard. It's not hard for us to swallow it because that's what we want to believe. But let me ask you a question before I open it up for Q&A because I'm here by myself, so I gotta be on point. What problem have you solved since you've been in business? What problem have you solved? Thank you, I appreciate it. What problem have you solved since you've been in business? Because if you're a problem solver, people are going to come back to you. So what problems have you solved since you've been in business? What solutions to other people's issues have you provided? Regroup, readjust, refocus. If you can't come up with any, see, it's going to be a lot of tunnel visioned personalities, and I want to keep it as politically correct as I can because I know there are a lot of people who are probably just sitting there waiting on me to say something silly. Yep. But what solutions have you provided? Because see, there's a lot of old way of thinking people on this call. On a lot of the calls, their minds made up. This is what they're doing. They just see my lips moving. Hey man, if you're not seeing, I want to say this correctly because I said this before. what success is what not people is. Success is not what people think it is. And people will say, smug people will say, lazy people will say, and narrow-minded people will say, well, success looks different to everybody. No, it don't. It don't. Success don't look different to everybody. Because success is nothing more than forward progress. Simple as that. Now, how much forward progress is going to be how much success. But success is nothing more than forward progress. Okay, Mama Still. But what does that have to do with business? And congratulations. But what does that have to do with business and solving a problem, somebody else's problem? I want you to think about that. All those things that you have done, credit cards, invested, paid off house, that is a good feeling. That's emotional. That's emotional. That's an emotional feeling. That makes me feel good. That's a feel good moment. And I don't mean to sound, I'm serious. Congratulations. I think business can solve a problem or provide an impact / awareness. You should be a fixture in your area. It doesn't matter. You ain't got to have no storefront to be a fixture in your community, in your area. As I sit back and I look, I've only been in Columbia about 2 years. Prior to that, I lived in a little town called Sumter for 5 years. And as I look around here, all I see here is people. The next thing that come out of my mouth, I got to be careful because you know people are sensitive. All I see here is a group of people, not everybody, but a certain group of people who are just in competition with each other. I have one business that solves problems, and another that is not based on a problem, but it's an impact. I think we have to relook at why we got started in business. You ain't got to quit. Sometimes you just got to readjust. Sometimes you just got to push back from the table and regroup. It's only one boutique in the area that gave people more variety and custom orders in house. He must be from a small town. Small town. I just want you to think about that. So if you're still hanging on, tomorrow starts our financial education month. And gonna be broadcasting from our National Business Builders page. And probably gonna have this one up so you guys can see. But I think that it's going to raise some awareness. Start the college fund for kids at the church and make sure it went to those who needed it. Okay. Now we talking. That's what I'm talking about. So outside of, and I'm not saying not to take care of ourselves personally. We have to be able to take care of ourselves personally. Think about it. How can we be a benefit to somebody else if we're all jacked up? It's going to be a challenge, right? But what are you solving? But tomorrow starts Financial Education Month, And I am issuing a credit education challenge. Okay. So inside the credit education challenge, we're going to be talking about personal finances as well. We're going to be talking about the difference between um, personal finances as a whole and how people look at their credit, thinking that that's the thing. But we're going to be talking about this all April. And I'm going to do my best to come on at least once a day in the month of April. That's my challenge. Some of you will lock in and be a part of the challenge. Some of you will see the lives and say, hey, well, he ain't talking about selling nothing or making nothing, so I ain't interested. And some people just going to keep on swiping. I'm prepared for that. But National Business Builders is a company that gives people solutions to not just their personal finances, but understanding business and business finances and business in general. So if you are a business owner and you're serious about elevating your business, then I strongly encourage you to become a part of that challenge. Because we're not just going to be talking about one thing or the other. We're going to be talking about a multitude of things, but it's all gonna stem around finances and improving ourselves. So I hope for somebody, I hope I was able to reach at least one person on this call. I hope they found value as I shared my opinions. I hope you found value as I shared my personal feelings about how I feel on a regular basis. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I quit yesterday. When I shut the lights off yesterday, I quit. I'm back. I don't know if y'all heard me say this before. I quit every yesterday. I quit every yesterday. Meaning I leave all that and I do my best to leave everything behind me and start fresh a new day. Learning why we got started in the first place. Finding out if why we got started was the right reason. And also learning that if it's not the right reason, there's no reason to not be able to readjust and refocus. No. So that's funny. I appreciate it, Mama Still. You said that's funny. You like that? Yeah, I'm serious. I quit every yesterday. It's you got to understand. Most of you do, but you have to understand. We hold ourselves to a higher standard than anybody ever can. We are the hardest on ourselves than anybody else ever can be. I'm no different. I expect a lot out of myself. And when things don't go the way that I want them to go or the way that I expect that they should go, or I get hard on myself. So that's that. So in order for me to stay focused, in order for me to keep a clear mind or somewhat clear mind, I got to quit on yesterday. Yesterday was that. It's gone. Listen. Hey, our government don't want to hear from nobody like me that's talking like I'm talking. We're gonna talk about that too in the upcoming month. But yeah, man. I mean, so yeah, just flush all that old stuff. It's gone. Yesterday is gone. You can't do anything about it, but learn from it. Okay. Um, Learn from it. Yeah, I that's not me. You can have it though. You know that's really not me. I tried. That ain't my lane. Maybe I outsource to somebody or something. But just just think about this, man. If you're in it right now and you may be in it for the wrong reason, there's no reason why you can't adjust your mindset. Learn. Don't spend your days and nights on this social media platform like any other social media platform just trying to make a sale. I know that may sound silly, but don't just spend your time trying to just make a sale. If you're in business, if you have a business, please consider learning how to build it. And I know that sounds really broad, and it is. I want you to take this with you. There's 3 things that you need to have and or to know to be a successful business owner? 3 things. They are broad, but it's 3 things. One, you have to have an idea. And I think everybody has an idea, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. Okay. Everybody has to have an idea. Everybody has to have some money. You got to have money to not just start a business, but to keep it going. See, the thing of it is, people get money. They get money in the form of refunds. They get money in the form of inheritances. They get money in the form of winning a lottery, whatever the case may be. They get money. So you got to have an idea, you got to have money, but you also have to have an understanding of how business works. And if you have 2 out of the 3 or 1 out of the 3, you will not be successful in business. You'll just find yourself spending time on these social media platforms trying to sell a product or a service to an audience that you have not even created. That's what I have to leave with you. My name is Eric, coming out of Columbia, South Carolina. This is the Blank Spot Academy. The Blank Spot is a sublimation blank supplier, authorized reseller of vinyl, Stahl's vinyl, and we are eco-solvent suppliers to people who are using eco tanks. You need to think about where you're going next, because you make up 3% of 100% of the people in this country. The other 97% did not even show up. So you can do this with the right tools, the right know-how, and the right mindset. Like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. Make sure you like, share, tag, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell to be notified. Some of you guys are not subscribed, so the way you see our videos is however you see them. Go back and watch our videos. Let's get our plays up. If it's making sense to you, share the video as well. I'll see you all at the top, because there's too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.